This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Gitsky. Well, did you feel the earthquake? Kern County felt the shake early this morning. The earthquake struck just after 4 a.m. southeast of the Lake Tahoe area near Mena Avenue, near Mena, Nevada. Social media users reported feeling the earthquake in Bakersfield, Fresno, and as far north as Sacramento. We've had several calls into our newsroom of people saying they also felt that shake. A reminder, you can download the Shake Alert app to get earthquake warnings on your phone. Hundreds of earthquake sensors across California track the tremors and warn you just before shaking arrives. The alert would not have gone off this morning in Bakersfield since the shaking was minimal here. That app is available for iOS and Android phones. And it's been 10 months since the major earthquakes in Ridgecrest. Those quakes caused massive destruction to our rural community, and people there are still picking up the pieces. You can check out all our stories on the quakes in our Return to Ridgecrest special reports. Just go to KGET.com. Now to the latest on the coronavirus here in Kern County. Public Health confirms 3 new deaths. The total number of cases sits at 1,428. Kern's death toll stands at 24, many of them from local nursing facilities. However, more than 900 people have recovered from the virus. More than 12,000 tests for COVID-19 have come back negative, and more than 1,700 tests are still pending. Well, today we are getting a better picture of what Kern County economy looks like during this pandemic. New figures will be released by California Employment Development Department today, showing jobless claims in Kern County for the month of April. It's expected to show thousands of jobs lost and an increase in Kern's overall unemployment rate. Job worker adjustment and retaining notification or WARN Act notices obtained by 17 News suggest more than 4,700 people in Kern County have lost their jobs so far in April. Now we are waiting for those numbers to be dropped. And this job crisis continues to hurt millions of Americans. Nationwide, 36.5 million jobless claims have been filed over the past 2 months. That's an additional 3 million in just the last week. Governor Gavin Newsom projects a state unemployment rate upwards of 24% at its peak. And Governor Gavin Newsom painted a grim picture in California during his update yesterday. Lawmakers will have to balance a deficit of $54.3 billion. The governor is proposing a 10% pay cut for all state workers, including himself. In fact, Newsom estimates he'll need to make $6.1 billion in cuts and go through all of the state's $16 billion reserves in 3 years.
Now being forced back into this position where we are having to make cuts breaks my heart, because one thing I know about cuts, there's a human being behind every single number. Behind every category is a dream that is either deferred, in some case, a dream that is denied.
Newsom is calling on Congress to pass the $3 trillion HEROES Act, which he says would provide the state with the ability to negate some of those cuts. The state budget also had a $19 billion shortfall for public school education. The state's budget director says unless California receives additional funding from the feds, the state would enact 10% base cuts on the state's public university system, including Cal State Bakersfield. Now, the governor did not address how the budget could impact key state funded projects right here in the valley, including the high-speed rail and improvements to the sinking freight Kern Canyon. And Kern officials believe there's a better way to judge if the county can lift its pandemic restrictions. County Administrative Officer Ryan Alsop said under the state's current guidelines, Kern would appear to be failing, making it harder to reopen. But Alsop said county officials have spoken to hospital leaders. They believe it would be more accurate to judge Kern on its hospitalization rate instead of its positive tests.
Not about how we eliminate this virus. It's about managing the spread of this virus and managing the available hospital capacity so that we don't overwhelm the medical system here in Kern County. We are doing that well.
Because testing is ramping up, Alsop argues we're naturally going to see more cases. He also says the county faces a new financial crisis because of the response to COVID-19 and the oil price crash. The county budget will be a topic at the next supervisors meeting on Tuesday. That's where they'll also discuss a plan to give financial aid to small businesses, with restaurants first in line. Brian Alsop and Senator Shannon Grove will appear on Kern County In Depth this weekend. We'll take a look around the state. The 2020 LA County Fair is canceled. That fair has been scheduled for September 4th to 27th. The news follows the cancellation of the Orange County Fair and the Ventura County Fair. This is the second time the fair shuttered since World War II, from 1942 to 1947. It also had closed for one day during the terrorist attacks September 11, 2001. The 100th year anniversary of the fair is slated for 2022. And as parts of California start to reopen, coronavirus restrictions are still being implemented. Many retail businesses are opening up across the state with curbside services, while employees and customers have to exercise social distancing and wear masks. The mayor of Los Angeles says all residents are required to wear a face covering anytime they leave their home. Employees at many businesses are being required to go through social distancing training, and some stores are limiting how many people can work at the same time. A jewelry store in Westwood, California is preparing to open up for curbside pickup only, and customers will have to wear masks. One shop owner in Westwood says even with restrictions, no virus will slow down his business.
We've been here for, 86 years, so I don't think we're going to go anywhere. The virus is going to knock us out.
Restrictions in numerous counties will ease as parts of California begin to move on to new phases of reopening. Now, in your 17 Crime Watch, a bust at a marijuana dispensary in East Bakersfield. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says deputies were following up on a tip from a citizen where they served a search warrant at Superior Meds on Nile Street last night. KCSO says deputies found evidence of legal gaming and illegal drug sales. They found an undetermined amount of marijuana products, including edibles, processed marijuana, and THC products for vaping, along with a small amount of cocaine and methamphetamine. They detained 12 people inside for questioning, but no arrests were made. KCSO says the case will be sent to the district attorney's office. And deputies are investigating a shooting that left one injured in East Bakersfield. Yesterday evening, Kern County Sheriff's Office received reports of shots fired on Lincoln Street near Gage Street. According to KCSO, they found evidence of a shooting, but no victim. A short time later, a man was treated at a local hospital for a gunshot wound. Now, he is expected to be okay. KCSO says they have no suspect information. Anyone with any information is asked to contact them at 861-3110. Well, 6 months ago, he stepped in to help a struggling city, but now McFarland interim city manager Larry Pennell says he's stepping down. In his letter of resignation addressed to council members, Pennell said he needs to focus on his health, noting he'll undergo spine surgery and months of rehab this summer at the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. During an interview with 17's Eitan Wallace today, Pennell stated he was grateful to have worked on various projects during his tenure, including the addition of a temporary police facility and the annexation of roughly 2,200 acres of land to be used as retail space and a distribution center. Now, you may remember Pennell's career includes 5 decades of public service, leading various valley cities like Arvin and Wasco. Last year, he stepped in at the helm as McFarland's interim city manager after former city manager John Wooner was found dead in the Kern River. Now, Pennell is offering his thoughts about where the city goes from here.
I'm pleased with the progress that I was able to make, but I could only make this progress with the support of the city council and of the management team that I worked with. I think the course we've charted is a good one. I'm optimistic for McFarland.
The city council has not yet announced who will replace Pennell. As we mentioned, local skilled nursing facilities account for nearly half of COVID-19 deaths in the county. And at 17 News, we have learned about a quarter of these state-regulated nursing homes have at least one case of coronavirus. Kingston Healthcare Center has had the biggest outbreak with 116 cases and 9 deaths. The state says at least one resident has died at the Orchard post-acute facility. The nursing home declined to comment. Rosewood Health Facility confirms 2 employees tested positive, but say they have been quarantined since April. And 16 cases have been reported at Valley Convalescent Hospital, 9 residents and 7 staff.
This is something that is a concern to us. We are looking to see if there's any local resources that we can divert to Valley Convalescent. If we are unable to meet that request, we will send that request up to the state.
Height Street Skilled Care in Northeast Bakersfield is also listed on the state's website with at least 1 case among residents. However, the facility says in a statement that they had 0 cases. In a statement, they said they had cared for a couple of patients who had previously been treated for COVID-19 but had gotten over it. The state has started a COVID-19 testing program requiring every nursing home resident and staff to be tested. Kern County will begin testing at Valley Convalescent starting today. Also today, the opening of a new testing site in Oildale. That testing site at Good Samaritan Hospital held an opening for a drive-through testing site. This location is the only Oildale drive-through free testing site in Kern County. The hope of this new site will provide needed testing to the community of Oildale. Multiple new testing sites have opened across Kern County to help with the testing deserts. This location is operated through a partnership with Good Samaritan Hospital and Kern County. And happening today, you can help save lives during the coronavirus pandemic. CityServe is teaming up with Houchin Blood Bank for their Give It Up blood drive. Donated blood only has a shelf life of 42 days and supplies are running low.
Selective surgeries are starting, so that request from the hospitals is coming in. So we're needing to ramp up our blood supply to make sure that we can meet the needs of our community.
The blood drive is from now until 2 this afternoon at the City Center on the corner of F Street and Golden State Avenue. CityServe says additional safety and social distancing measures will be in place. In your 17 Health Watch, an experimental coronavirus vaccine from Oxford University appears to be effective at preventing COVID-19, according to findings from a small study in 6 monkeys. NBC's Keir Simmons reports from London.
Fresh hope for a vaccine breakthrough. A single dose given to 6 rhesus macaque monkeys, which share a majority of their genes with humans, was found to produce antibodies as early as 14 days after vaccination. The Rocky Mountains lab that carried out the small trial releasing this new report, saying after the tests, the vaccine appeared to have prevented pneumonia and other lung problems associated with coronavirus. And the report says no sign of dangerous side effects, no evidence of immune-enhanced disease. Now, scientists from the UK's Oxford University say the early indications from human trials could come in June. Hundreds of people have already been injected with the possible vaccine. The scientists behind the research telling us they're able to move fast because their vaccine has been in development for decades. The vaccine updated for today's coronavirus.
We're using a vaccine type that has been in thousands of people before.
There's no guarantee it will ultimately prove to be successful. Over 100 vaccines are in development around the world, and already attention is turning to how to produce enough.
How many doses of vaccine do you think you can make?
We are aiming to make not millions, probably not tens of millions, but ideally hundreds of millions of doses of this vaccine.
One issue that may delay these vaccine trials, and this is fascinating, is that because of the lockdown in places like here in the UK, there are fewer people with the coronavirus, which of course means that people are less likely to get infected. It will take longer, and of course they cannot deliberately infect people with the coronavirus to see if the vaccine is working. All the same, they are planning to ramp up manufacturing of these vaccines even before they are tested positive, just so they're ready. Keir Simmons, NBC News, London.
Nice start to the day, and this afternoon looks to be very pleasant as well. We started out today in the 50s, and we're going to end up around 80. So if you like your Thursday, I think you're going to like this Friday forecast. But we do have some changes for the weekend and into next week, too. So let's take a look at it. 57 this morning, and then this afternoon looking here at our normal high of 83, and we will probably come close to that. High pressure building in along the west coast. Dry conditions on the way for the weekend, and will actually warm up close to 90 by Sunday. And then looking for a late season storm to come crashing in here Monday through Wednesday. That will bring winter-like conditions to the Central Sierra, and Northern California will get some much-needed rain. They are still looking at drought conditions, unlike what we've seen down here at the south edge of the valley. So we'll be on the tail edge of this and looking for heavier amounts to the north, even some Central Sierra snow, possibly down to the passes. Nothing like that here into the Kern County area. Will be much too warm for that, but we will possibly see snow in the mountains to the north up near Mammoth early next week, and maybe a tenth of an inch of rain, upwards of 2/10 at the area near Delano up near the Tulare County border. So here's the forecast for today. Sunny skies, 80 degrees in Bakersfield, 79 in Porterville, 81 in Delano, 80 in Wasco, 81 in portions of McFarland, and looking at 60 in Bear Valley, 75 in Lake Isabella, 72 in Kernville, 70 in Wofford Heights, 65 in Tehachapi, 50s today in Pine Mountain Club, 64 in Fraser Park, 73 degrees in Mojave with sunny skies. Regionally, 81 in Los Angeles, 75 in San Diego, 62 in Morro Bay, 66 in San Francisco, 91 in Las Vegas, and next week low to mid 70s in the forecast. Memorial Day, 89 degrees, followed by low to mid 90s for that last week of May, and it'll continue to heat up most likely into June, as we all know. Air quality good at 49. Here's your pinpoint forecast. 80 degrees today. Enjoy it. Make sure you open up the windows, go for a walk. 86 on Saturday, 89 on Sunday, and then low to mid 70s next week. So a big time cool down next week with the chance of showers on the way. Lower 70s for the weekend. Next week we will be into the mid 50s to lower 60s. Overnight lows in the mid 40s to upper 40s. How about the Kern River Valley? 75 and windy. Lower 80s for the weekend, and then rain on the way early next week. Temperature in the day will drop from the lower 70s to lower 60s from Tuesday. Overnight lows will be in the 50s. So all in all, a good looking day, and it should be nice, but a little bit hotter into the weekend.
Thanks for that, Alyssa. Another gorgeous weekend ahead of us. Well, in your road work file, lane closures are expected on a stretch of 24th Street next week. Starting Monday, eastbound and westbound traffic lanes will close between the Kern River Bridge and C Street. One lane will remain open in each direction while road work is underway. The closure will happen each day between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. until Friday. Now, you are asked to give yourself extra time or take an alternative route. And a road closure in town that was supposed to wrap up yesterday is being extended. I Street between 20th and 21st is closed right now while AT&T removes heavy equipment from its building. It's expected to remain closed through the end of the day today. Now, if you drive in that area, make sure to give yourself extra time.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Well, if you're looking for a new podcast you can listen to with a local spin, how about Tehachapi? It's the official podcast for the city of Tehachapi. Recently, it charted in the top 100 Apple government podcasts. The latest episode discusses the Tehachapi farmers market and how people feel about being able to purchase goods during the pandemic. People like Congressman Kevin McCarthy, Kern County Supervisor Zach Shrivner, and officials from SoCal Edison are set to appear on those upcoming episodes.